All you need to know about domestic violence as a ground for divorce in Nigeria. Some statistical facts about domestic violence as a ground for divorce in Nigeria. Number 1. According to the National Demographic and Health Survey 2018, 33% of women aged between 15 to 49 years have experienced physical or emotional violence by an intimate partner. Among these married women, 25% reported physical violence, 13% reported emotional violence, and 7% reported sexual violence. The form of violence experienced according to the NDHS in 2018 stated that the types of violence involved beating or slapping, which was the most common form. Number 2, emotional violence included insults, threats, and humiliation. And also, sexual violence often went unreported due to stigma or shame. According to the National Demographic and Health Survey, only 32% of women who experienced domestic violence sought help. Most victims confided in families or friends, not the police or legal authorities. It was reported that less than 5% reported to the police or got legal help. According to the National Human Rights Commission, over 3,600 cases of domestic and sexual violence were reported in just 6 months of lockdown in 2020, showing a significant spike in gender-based violence occurred due to restricted movement and loss of income. Furthermore, according to research, states with higher rates of reported domestic violence are usually Lagos, FCT Abuja, Rivers, and Kano. These higher numbers may reflect higher awareness, access to our services, and more non-governmental organization legal support. As of 2024, 36 of 36 states have domesticated or are in the process of implementing the Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act. The VAP Act 2015 devised and criminalizes domestic violence, spousal battery, verbal and emotional abuse, harmful traditional practices such as widowhood rights, and lots more. Lagos State Domestic and Sexual Violence Agency reported 4,860 cases of domestic and sexual violence handled in 2023 alone. Out of this, over 70% were female victims and 25% were minors. Back in 2022, Mirabel Center, a Lagos-based non-governmental organization, treated over 3,100 survivors in just 1 year, with most victims having their intimate partners as perpetrator of the violence. According to Oguntayo and Oguntayo, the Court of Appeal granted divorce on the ground of cruelty. It held that a single act of great violence can justify divorce. Also in the recent case of Ibiabuchi and Ibiabuchi, the court considered threat to life and persistent beating as sufficient proof of intolerable behavior. Divorce was granted. In Ikwinlaye and Ikwinlaye, emotional neglect and refusal to cohabit were taken seriously. However, courts have sometimes been reluctant to grant divorce where the evidence of violence was not well documented or where it was seen as part of cultural norms. In recent times, clearer recognition of domestic violence as a standalone ground for divorce have been clamored for. Use of protective orders and support services. The Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act 2015, applicable in the FCT and some states, offers broader protection including definition of domestic violence, criminal penalties, and civil remedies such as restraining orders. Judicial attitudes have shifted from conservative to more right-based in recent years, but inconsistencies remain. Lack of awareness, procedural delay, and social stigma still hinders justice for victims. The Nigerian legal system needs amendments to the Matrimonial Causes Act, training for judges, unified adoption of Violence Against Persons Prohibition Act across states. Domestic violence is not a private issue. It's a human rights violation. Let the law speak louder for the voiceless.